Hello, hello, and welcome back here to Ashbury Dales in Snapdragon Cities. So you find us here at Beechwood Farm. This was the farm that we created in the middle of the last relatively ill-fated episode that we're pleased to have seen the back of. We're diving straight back in with some further development on the farm in this episode. Also, the Beechwood area itself needs to grow up a little bit. We've got a lot of empty space over here that we can fill somehow, and we'll work that out as we go. Whitehall seems to be fine, so we'll let that tick over as well it does for this episode, though we will also be trying to get some buses into our series of towns here, into the Ashbury Dales area. So that will probably involve a little tour around Whitehall, so fans of that area will see that it's not forgotten, though most of our time will be spent north of the main road coming through here. So we're going to start with playing the game, so let's get that off and running. And we've got some unused assets for Beechwood Farm, so we'll take a look at what we can do that we haven't yet done. So we've got flour mill already down and cattle shed already down, but the milking parlour we're not using yet. That is a polluting asset, so again we might keep it up here. No solution yet to the landscaping problems up here. We could use Move It Mod to adjust these around a little bit. Probably we'll just ignore it for now and see how we get on without worrying about it too much. And we've got some small barns that we could be using instead of, or as well as these grain silos. Because we've got a milking parlour that we're going to be placing down at some point, and we've got these two cattle sheds over here. It's tempting to wonder why we've got a pig farm that then has a milking parlour and a cattle shed and not cows. So we'll fix that as well by putting down another animal pasture here, perhaps, and we'll make that again a nice large area for the cows. We also want to be producing some more raw materials, so we'll start with that. Actually, we're going to extend out our fruit farm and our what did we say these two is? This corn, yeah. So our cornfields and our pear trees will continue to just see that expand. Maybe we'll just move this here. That will probably work absolutely fine. We can move this one then to here. Create another. This one then we will need to move here and create another. Right, that looks wonderful. And then we want to create another animal pasture here that we can use for cattle. Lovely stuff indeed. Right, so let's make sure that these are cows. There we go. So cows and pigs are happy with that. Let's get some fencing. Let's get some fencing in there for the cows. That seems great. That should all be fine, and Beechwood Farm will continue to grow. How are we doing actually? So we've got more people than more workers than we need, and not that many vacancies. Yeah, we're doing fine on RCI. So it's just the resources going to tick up. So these changes that we've made should help with that, and also we're going to start processing the animal products just a little bit more. How do we want to do this? So we're mindful that we don't want to continue to anger the landscaping gods here. Does this fit in? If I do that, it's going to trash the power lines, but we can rebuild it. It's not looking great, that is it. So I wonder if we can just get that to be that height. That'll make that look less frustratingly bad. If we're doing that, we should probably then also just grab this, put that all at that height as well. I wonder then if we just lifted that bit up a little bit, if we'd be okay. These power lines sunk into the ground aren't helping the overall thing. Does power jump across there? It does. So we're all good. left the power cables in there, so we can get rid of those as well. Nice, nicely done. Right, anything here that we are concerned with? No. Should we just continue to demonstrate that the landscaping tools are not working the way that we want them to work? So if we select that here, we cannot flatten that. So I am choosing this terrain height here. Nothing doing. We can move things up and down using the Move It mod, as we have already seen. And so we'll do that. But we won't be able to do any better than that, I don't think. So over here we've got what have we got? We've got 2 cattle sheds and a milking parlour. I bet if we got these things down to this height, it might look a little bit better. The cows a little jump around there, and then because we adjusted this one previously, it's not great, is it? So we're gonna have to balance between this being flat and it looking weird. We'll go with it being flat for the time being, and then we'll just let this continue to tick up. I'm sure by the time we come back, we'll be at level 4. Wonderful. So then, right, let's move on. Let's take a look at Beechwood. What we'll do, because we do want to get some buses down, but we do want to satisfy some of our demand as well. So we'll probably try and find some more ways to fill out some zoned areas around here. This is still going to be a school and a school here. I think what we'll probably have to do at some point is create a little, like a leisure commercial park off of here. And we'll do that at some point as well, probably in this episode. We'll probably just try and fill this part of the Beechwood town in for now, and then we'll come around here later on in the episode. So we created this roadway network in the previous episode, so I think we're good to go, and we will just start popping some zoned areas in here. Right, that'll do the thing for a little while, and as you can already see, our residential demand is creating the need for some of these assets to pop in. Those will continue to do that nice and quickly or nice and slowly. It depends. Our RCI meter is definitely, though, asking us to pay attention to it. So I think this area here might be a nice area for some commercial. So let's have a look and see and find what we've got that we could use for that. So we do have under UK retail a bunch of these nice larger shops, which I think is what I had in mind. So let's see if we can just create a small little parade of these. That should really help us. So we'll come out of the Find It mod, and we'll grab one of our normal roads. I don't think this is going to be very complicated at all. I think we'll come off of there. Should we have 2 ways in? Let's have 2 ways in, and then we'll have 2 ways into what will be a car park. So we'll use our car park roads for that. Right, so which ones of these do we want to use? Nothing wrong with the boots. Let's we'll take the trees off these roads in a minute. So we'll have boots. Let's have a range. We'll have a next. Let's have an Argos. And one more. B&Q. There we go. So we'll allocate that in, and then we'll nudge all these up in move it. Lovely stuff. Right, let's get rid of the trees. There we go there in the end. Right, let's plumb these shops in. There we go. Right, let's put some spaces in our car park. There we go. That should work. That should work lovely. What we're also going to do is just ask the vehicles servicing these buildings to go around the back. And we're going to do that by just changing the spawn points for the buildings. So you can see here in orange, we can move this around. So we'll move it to the back and turn it around. And we can then copy that and apply it to these other buildings. And that will work very well. We'll just move this road then a touch closer to it. There we go, that makes a lot of sense. So the only slight problem we've got with using high density residential is we can't change our budget yet. So these guys will be slightly underpaying, but that's fine. We're trying to stimulate some growth. So we'll have those going in there. We still have apparently a very high demand for commercial zoning. These are all the commercial versions of these. Oh, is this a no? So this one's come in as a park, which is fine. We'll just see if we can find a version or a different one that is not a park. So there we go. We'll put a Halfords in instead. So thank you, B&Q. But instead of you, we will have a Halfords. Lovely job. Right. So that is all commercial, and it will all they'll have some jobs. They do need educated workers and well-educated workers as well. We don't have those. So, well, we do. So they're finding them. So uneducated. So educated is elementary, is secondary, is university. Yeah, okay. So we're all good. That will be fine. And that has given enough time for a lot of this to pop in and for Beechwood Farm to get ever closer. So that's fine. What I'm going to do in terms of decoration for this, we'll come back to that. We'll have a think and see what the best thing to do would be. So we can see here the service vehicles are using the back. Oh. Nope, they are just driving through the building to the back of the building. Now, is that because we don't have these ones close enough? Can't really do better than that. So let's see. I wonder if we need to exaggerate the spawn point just a little bit more. Let's try that. That one worked fine. We saw that going in around the back there. So perhaps it was just that one slightly overzealous truck. Anyway, we shall allow it for now. Seeing a lot of people just driving and picking up their cars along here, we might be getting tempted to turn the traffic manager setting on that will require them to use car parks. But we'll see. How would they get there actually? They'd have to walk out here. Do we need to just put some paths down to help make it possible for them to get there? There, that will certainly do for now. Right. Let's let Beechwood expand a little bit further. And let's start talking about some buses. So we've got some main areas of employment. The farm is currently home to 552 workers. Our industrial area over here, no doubt plenty as well. We can have some buses. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to create a bus depot. Let's do a biofuel bus depot that can sit nicely in our industrial area over here, and we'll do so there. Now we can put some bus routes down. So the main things we want to get done with our bus routes is to take people to shops and to take people to work. So we'll have a route that takes people around Whitehall Village via the shops in Whitehall Manor, and we'll have stops on the way that go to here and here for the farm. Our bus depot is saying that it's not plumbed in. And then get on with the business of creating some bus routes. So where to where to start? Well, we know we're going to want to come to the industrial area. So let's... Why is it not letting me? Why is it not letting me make a bus route here? Well. So after a bit of investigation, it turns out quite sensibly, you cannot put a bus stop on a road that has no parking, and every road in our city has no parking on it. So we've got a small problem, viewers. We're going to have to go through and upgrade every single one of our roads if we want buses on it. So probably we'll be judicious about this, but I've upgraded the roads in the industrial area, and as you'll see, that minor problem we were on the verge of having, where it wasn't letting me create bus lines, has gone. So give me a moment. I'm going to upgrade a bunch of roads and come back to you. Well, that took some time, didn't it? Right, let's keep the game running. We now have a very different looking village. So we have footpaths next to all of our roads, and well, golly, if it doesn't look a lot better. So we're still really loving the network here, the UK looking roads. We've got now drainage, which I'm sure is of benefit to our city somehow. We also have a lot of footpaths. So let's see if we see an increase in pedestrian activity through the town. That was not something that I had intended to spend some time on today, but nevertheless we have. And so let's get back to what we were doing. What we were doing was creating bus routes. So we can do that now. We're going to want a couple of stops in the industrial area so that people can get to work. Let's treat ourselves to 3 of those, and then we're going to want this route to do a decent lap of Whitehall Village, but mainly the residential areas. So let's find some stops along the way and see what we end up with. Yeah, so that's one, and then we'll just mirror exactly the same thing the other direction. There we go. So 2 complete lines. We've seen as we were going around some opportunity to improve the placement of some of these stops. So it would seem to me that this stop might be better as a stop at the school. So we will remember that we haven't upgraded the school roads first, and we will then do so. And then we'll see if we can't just move this stop into here. People simultaneously sad and happy at that. We've got something strange happening with this purple line. So this is supposed to be. Is it just easier for? Yeah, that's going to be better there. Then it was just easier for the bus to go there and around than it was to go around and there. Fine. We've got nothing coming to the school over here, so I think we can. If we upgrade this road, we'll be able to get the bus to go around here as well, I think. Seems good. And then these stops are fine. These stops are fine. We could probably do with one up by the school. Yeah. Let's pop that in. This is good. These are probably better here. Fine. Any other significant points of interest here that we need to make sure that we've correctly Done. No, there's no bus access in the middle of the town here. If we were worried about that, we could drag the lines in, put some stops in there, but I think not. Level 4. So got another unique factory, some farm maintenance, larger barns, and the slaughterhouse. We'll get back to Beechwood Farm in a moment, but let's continue sorting out these bus routes. So what are we complaining about here? Not enough educated workers. How's our school doing? Got plenty of capacity there. Plenty of capacity there. We've got a lot of students that have not been through the education system yet, but we've got plenty of capacity for those that have, and nothing we can do about it. So fine. Let's have another look at these lines here. We could, if we wanted to, find a way to put some connection in here. So this would be an easy way to achieve that. So with this, we could put something. Yeah, we could have this one coming in here, the green one coming in here, and then the same from this side to here to here. Yeah, there we go. And that allows everyone to feel connected to the bus line. It is going to be quite a big bus line, so we'll take a look at the routes in here. 6 vehicles and 9 vehicles, but they're the same size. Let's have a look. What choices have we got here? Can't choose any of these, or we can choose some of these? No, we can't choose any of these. Why can't we choose any of these? Is it because we put the biofuel bus depot down and all the others come out of? It'll be that, won't it? So let's test that theory. Putting down one of these and then going to our, let's play the game for a second to get that working. Go to our public transport tool. Yeah, right. So we've got some choices for the buses in our town. We've got a bunch of nice looking assets. I like this Arriva bus, so that's the one that we'll use. We definitely don't need 16 of them though, so we'll put that right down. Put that right down to 6. Seems like it will be sufficient. So we go then to our lines overview and choose our purple line. We can do the same thing. 6 of the Arriva ones, please. Very good. Busy town. There we go. We made it. So at Busy Town, we can have oil and tourism specializations. We could make all of our new buses free. We won't do that. Bunch of policies here. Anything else for us to immediately care about? Let's just scroll down and see. No larger versions of all of our main facilities. Some interesting new parks and some things that will cost us more money than we want to spend. And some of our warehouse assets. Wonderful. Right. Fantastic. So we've got a bus route there. Let's let Beechwood get to work as well. Do we want that bus route to be able to get people to these shops? Yes. I can feel that being a bad idea. I can feel that this route now is trying to do too much, but nevertheless, it is what it is, and what it is. Very good and very nice. Right. Yeah, okay, no transport connections between the two at the moment. So if you live in Whitehall and work in Beechwood, well, good news, you're going to be able to change at the shops. Right, that'll do. Let's plumb in the rest of these roads over here. There we go, lovely. Right, so let's have a look. Garbage processing status could do with being improved. We have a we have a way to do that. And that's that done. Do you want to swap these around? Yeah, let's do that. So we'll move this up to the end of the road, move this to next to the other one. Lovely job. Right, let's check the buses that we have got on these other two Beechwood routes. Very nice, very nice. Right. Let's continue to. We've got a lot of space here in Beechwood. Now that could end up being a nice little city park. Maybe that's the right thing to do. We also wanted to get some schools in here. We are fine for capacity, but we do want to make sure that everyone has access to schools. So let's put one of our Toronto elementary schools down in here. I think that will work. I think that worked very nice and very well. So what could we do? We want a smaller one than the one that we placed over there. So Brookmill Junior Public School. That feels like exactly right, exactly what we want. So what's the way into this going to look like? So we do our first road actually without our snaps. Then we'll turn them all back on. Make our way over there. Find a way to pop this school down here. And then we can see the grounds that school would have available to it. School is, again, fine. It is no better than fine, but it is fine. We'll just make sure that the path on the way in is at the correct height. Very good. Right, can we put a small fence down around the exterior of this? I suspect we can, and I wonder if we must. So let's put a brick wall. Let's use our parallel roads tool. This is such an excellent way of just getting a fence in. We just need to do nothing more now than to tidy up the edges. Yeah, and shall we put some trees in this school as well? We'll just use our tree brush for that, shall we? There we go. Fantabulous. Excellent indeed. Bus lines should go past here as well. We've got stops here that probably we could just put there. And everything is good. They are unhappy. As well they might be, which made it harder for them to get where they're going. Situation improved. Done. Wonderful. And this space here we wanted for secondary school in the area. It does feel it's a bit early in the development of this area to have a secondary school in there, but as you can see, we're doing it. So maybe what we'll do for this is we will just have a straight line coming across here. The bus lines will break whenever we add nodes to the network, but they'll sort themselves out quickly enough. Let's have a look and see what we want to do over here. Having one with steps might be perfect. Nice. Let's see if our terrain tools have started working again. Almost. We can see that they're trying to do the thing, actually, aren't they? They are. Wonderful. So then, if that is going to work, what we'll do is we'll just raise this up a bit here. That feels fine. Feels fine indeed. Missed a road, haven't we? We can see this here, so we'll upgrade this road as is necessary. And let's go back to our network multi-tool to create our fence. trees. There we go, wonderful. That looks all right, actually, that, doesn't it? Hiding a lot of the dirty work with some trees there, and that's how it would look if you were building on a slope. There'd be it would slope. Again, when we feel so compelled to, we will put some supporting stuff in the backs of these schools, but for now that's fine. Now that we know where these buildings are building up to, we can fill in behind them with some trees. That just going to make that feel like we've put all that stuff in the right place. Wonderful. Yeah, this is looking really nice now, isn't it? This area here. Beechwood benefiting from some nice landscaping and growing up very nicely. So what will we what else do we need to do in this area? Well, we need some services, don't we? So we're going to need all of your usual in here. I wonder if that creates an opportunity for us to build in this area into perhaps over here, creating some connections. I think we will. So let's have a think about that. If we were snapping everything, and if we had our collision on, where would you want to join up to? Might it be over here, actually? Yeah, I rather fear it would be there, unfortunately, for the occupants of that house. And then what does this do to help us with services? Well, we could, if we wanted, upgrade these roads as well, and then have some further connections coming off the back here, which would be fantastic places for some of our service buildings. So there we go, wonderful. And let's start with, let's see what we've got in the way of medical. And did we get any other good ones from the workshop? With these, this is the same one that we've used before, so maybe we will look and see what the game's got for us here. We've got quite a lot that we don't need to be playing with at the moment. How bad does that look? Oof. It doesn't look like it belongs here at all, does it? So we'll get rid of it, and we will replace it with another one of our Lloyd's Pharmacy adjacent doctor's practices. I think that is going to be. I think we're going to be happier with that, aren't we? In the grand scheme of things. Same with fire. What have we got here? So we've got a UK fire station with no decorations, and fire station 2. Another fire station here. And police. We can have a couple of these. Can we? Are we so full up already that we can't sneak one of these in? Well, we can sneak one there. And also over here. Those new roads will need plumbing in, won't they? There we go. Let's let some houses come up on here as well while we're at it. Very nice indeed. Very nice. Room for a few more trees back here. We'll wait. We'll let this develop up before we finalise that. And what are we saying about this space here? Let's let these things come up here. That should be fine. There we go, wonderful. So Beechwood growing up nicely, definitely starting to compete for size with Whitehall. So a couple of thousand people there, so that's less than half of our nearly 6,000 citizens, but growing up nicely with plenty of room for further development. So with that in mind, we can come back to Beechwood Farm. We can see we're not yet satisfying either requirement here, though we are starting to fill up our space. Yeah, so we will return and see what else we can do to increase Beechwood Farm. We're going to want some more. We're going to want some more production. So we'll start with some of that. I know that we've unlocked the medium and maybe even the large ones of these now, but they're no better. You know, they don't give us that much more in terms of output. What we do want though is firstly to move this so that we can finish our road network off. Of course, just out of the city limits there, no problem. And then we will put a barn. Oh, we've got a large barn now. Fantastic. Put the large barn there. And we'll do the same or similar over here. And we'll have another animal field here as well. There we go. The farm's really starting to take shape. Tempted to just ruin the rest of the ground. The rest of the ground here is farmland, after all, isn't it? It's not going to be pristine underneath all of this. Yeah, maybe not a good idea. I prefer it for now, so we'll leave it as it is. Still not quite enough workers. We did unlock the farm maintenance building, and we have been missing a barracks here since the last episode. So let's see what a farm maintenance building does. Oh, I thought I was going to be able to slot it in here. Apparently not, but it will. It seems fit nicely there. We still got collision off. We didn't see any of the trees go there. No worries. We have a cure. Wonderful. That's that farm maintenance building there, will help with the overall efficiency in the area. So we've got not enough buyers for products. That must mean this warehouse is full. And so let's get another one. And we're really looking forward to when we can get the landscaping tools to work a little bit better around here. That is not looking great, is it? Yeah, that's what we've got for a while. That's what we've got. We'll be fine. We'll be fine, folks. We've got some space here that we could use. We're not using yet. In time, I'm sure we'll find a reason to use that space as well. But in the meantime, that looks great. So what have we done so far this episode? We've got Beechwood Farm to level 4. That'll get to level 5 eventually, no doubt. We now have enough places and enough people working there, so that'll get there. With no other industry, there are no other factories that we can place, but that's fine. Beechwood is developing lovely, isn't it? Look, so we've got all of these trees in between, helping us justify the Beechwood name. I'm sure some of those are beech trees, or if not, let's pretend that they are. Some schools. We've put in a few too many trees in this school, haven't we? We didn't quite want that. We've got a couple of schools in there, a secondary school and a primary school, and lots of residential development. We also created this small commercial estate with some typical brands that UK folk will recognise. This bus stop is very busy, isn't it? And well, we've got some nice big buses on there. So let's see how many of these people manage to squeeze their way onto this Enviro 500 Rapid KL right-hand drive bus. Well, significantly less than we thought would do that. I suspect they're waiting for the next one. No problem at all. We've also changed every road in the city to help facilitate the bus network. We've made it so that it's possible to stop on some of the roads in our city. 0 of the roads in our city were able to be parked on, which made it impossible for buses to get there. Has that had any impact on the overall traffic flow in our city? We're at 83%. That's fine. We'll hope for better. We can see where the problem areas are. We do have a bottleneck here. I suspect we could find a way to fix that if we were so inclined, and maybe in time we will be. What was the traffic looking like in our industrial area? We've done a good job of keeping traffic away from here. It does seem, though, yeah, we've created a shortcut here, haven't we? And we said we didn't want to do that. So we'll allow it for now, but I think we're going to probably want to sever this connection at some point, because it is creating traffic where we don't want traffic. For now, though, I think we'll leave it here for this episode. In the next episode, we are struggling with electric availability, so maybe we'll have a look at our industrial area down here and see if we can't beef up our power production. We are doing fine on all of our other vitals, but we can see here our RCI meter is still telling us that despite this commercial endeavour that we've created over here, we haven't yet done enough. We also don't have any city parks in the city, and we've got some spaces that we need to fill in over here. So stay tuned in the next episode for some further development of Beechwood. But for now, let's take a look around at what we've done in this one. And so there you have it. That is episode 5 of Ashbury Dales here on Snapdragon Cities, and what a good one it was. We've made some great progress in this episode. I'm really liking this area of Beechwood. I think it's growing up fantastically. If you feel the same, why not give the video a like, and while you're there, why don't you leave a comment and let me know what it was you liked about it. If you take the time to do that, please also take the time to subscribe and hit the notification bell to make sure you don't miss episode 6 and beyond. But for now, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care.